Good evening, everybody, and after a couple of minor technical difficulties on behalf of our Restream monkeys, we are here and ready to go. Look, I'm not going to call out who the Restream monkeys are, but they might be making faces right now.
I'm making a face, and I'm not the Restream monkey.
See, I have a perfect way to lure out the Restream monkey. Y'all ready? Who wants a banana?
Not even a minute in, this was already a bad idea.
Right? Yeah.
Here's one to show off his banana.
Phrasing?
That was the phrasing.
Phrasing? But anyway, welcome to Bay City Chronicles Presents NextGen. This is a game of masks, of course. We are 18 issues in, which is 17 more issues than I thought we'd get into this.
Really?
Oh, I expected after issue 1, y'all to, come after me with pitchforks and torches.
There's no D20s. How do we play this game?
Right?
I just figured you liked pitchforks and torches.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, okay, but...
So, real quick, for those of you who might be new to the stream, first of all, why? Second of all, a little introduction is probably in order. So we've got our cast of characters here. We have got playing Gianna Robinson, the Nova. We've got Camellia Nice. Playing Flo, the Harbinger. We've got Crimson Addicts. Playing Vincent Evan Donovan IV, the Brain. We've got Dark Falls. And playing currently Charlie Alexander, the Innocent, we've got OPT Lawyer, aka the Restream Monkey. And I am your GM for the evening. I am TGE. And as I said, we are 18 issues in. And normally I wouldn't be, I'd be jumping right into everything here. But I want to say before we jump into any of this, that the storyline we're about to go into has been planned for several weeks ahead of what's going on currently in the world. So do not think this is an attempt to try and satire that or play up onto that or anything to that nature. This is where the progression of this storyline has been going for a while. It just unfortunately happens to fall right now in the middle of all the unrest that we're dealing with. So I don't want anyone to think that this is anything more than just a game. And to get that out of the way, let's just, we all need to take a minute to stop the hate, stop all of this, and treat everyone like they're human. And that's the biggest thing we need to take away from all this. So now that we're done off of the soapbox here, now that we're done doing the political thing, let's get to the game, shall we? So with that, this is Bay City Chronicles Presents Next Gen issue 18, A Matter of Public Opinion. On the cover, we see the shadowy figures of, newspaper delivery kids just running around the city in different blocks, screaming extra, extra, and you see them all throwing newspapers around. And for the most part, in all of the boxes, there's just, the shadow outlines of nondescript citizens watching newspapers be flung around. But on the bottom right-hand corner of the cover, we get a little close-up of one of the newspaper. And the newspaper has a big, bright, smiling picture of Chase Cassidy. And the headline reads, Cassidy missing, feared dead, meta involvement? ? So with that, we're going to turn open the page. And the first thing we're going to get to is, this has been a couple of days since, y'all went to the movies. Maybe a week or so. And in that time, there has definitely been a lot of murmurings and rumblings about, Chase Cassidy being missing. No one's heard from him. And it really has been a lot at the forefront because even though you as heroes might not like him, he has a very large public following. He is very popular in the city. So when someone as high profile as him fails to, let people know what's going on and where he is, then it's, going to be a big deal. So we're going to start with the apartment or hotel room or whatever it is that Charlie has been staying in.
Hotel.
So first things first, Charlie. What are you doing in this hotel room?
She said it's been about a week.
Give or take, yes.
So this is one of those, like, those work, like, suite kind of hotel rooms that even has, like, its own computer.
Has Charlie figured out how to turn it on?
Oh, yeah, he knows how to turn a computer on. You know, he had computers way back in 1994. It was Windows 3.1 and whatnot. And he's learned enough to be able to, like, hunt and peck his way to get onto the internet. He still doesn't understand a lot about it. He's reading, like, some news stories and whatnot with the, like, the news channels on the TV, because streaming is still something that's completely beyond him right now.
So I'm glad you said you had the news on TV, because as you're, chicken pecking your way to try and get to the internet, you look and the story catches your eye. And the headline on the bottom of the screen reads, "Last video of Chase Cassidy found." What do you do?
Oh, he's going to turn his attention and see if he can figure out what it is, if they're going to play it or not.
Do you unmute the TV?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Actually, he wouldn't have had it muted in the first place.
Okay, so you start hearing the reporter, and you're only half paying attention to you sort of start in the middle. It's like, yep. So we here at Channel 3 have obtained what we believe to be the last footage of Chase Cassidy being seen with people before his disappearance. Now, it's not going to look like much because it seems as if he's just going to someplace normally, but through some of our crack research team, we have determined that at least a couple of the people in this video are known metahumans. And the video that they show is the video of Gianna and Drake and Charlie and Hunter meeting Chase at the arcade.
So he was going to watch the whole thing. He was going to wait to see if they point him out at all first, until, like, the report ends before he does anything else.
So they go through the video and they stop and they do the stop picture in picture, and they do like the circle, like you're identifying a face thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring up the four faces of Hunter, Gianna, Chase, Charlie, and Drake. So the first one is obvious. Everyone in the dang city knows Drake because
right,
the power of the pool, all of the incident with the debutante and all that. Like, so everybody knows Drake.
right.
Then they get the name Gianna Robinson, blah 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 blah. Like, they get that whole profile. Then they have Hunter Barlow, no known superpowers, but like that. So like probably nothing to do here. And then they get to you, and the reporter goes, "Well," and this is a little bit interesting because we had no information on who this person is, but one of our forensic experts took a look and were able to do some magic with their editing software. And it turns out whoever this is appears to be an exact replica of Chase Cassidy when he was 16. And they do the side-by-side facial recognition, turn Chase's face into your face thing.
Right. So Charlie watches this like, it doesn't look anything like me. Whatever. Why do they have that kind of technology? What's facial technology going to do for anybody anymore?
So anyone with any information on the whereabouts of these kids, please let us or BCPD know. They would like to talk to them about the whereabouts of Mr. Cassidy. And now over to Stu with the weather.
All right, so he's gonna click the mute button on this. Actually, no, he's really interested in the weather. No, I'm kidding. All right, so he's gonna.
So as you can see, you max the volume.
So he kind of sits back for a moment, and he's just kind of thinking. He finally takes out his cell phone, his smartphone, and kind of looks at it for a moment, and it's like, okay, it's this button, this one, and then this, and then I hold this down, and 1, 2, and then it rings Gianna's phone.
Yeah, she picks up her phone.
Miss Robinson.
Tr- well, what is it, Charlie?
Well, hi. There's, I don't know if you watch the news at all. But,
Not really.
okay, well, the news got a hold of the last video of Chase Cassidy seen with people, which happened to be us at that arcade that we went to with Drake and I'm sorry, Mr. Dragon and Mr. Barlow. And the news has now named the three of you and believes that I am some exact duplicate of Chase Cassidy at 16 years old. Now, granted, I am, in fact, I'm not in fact a exact duplicate. I am Chase Cassidy at 16 years old, but that doesn't matter. I don't know how they figured that out in the first place. It said something about facial technician, whatever that the heck is. But as I've said, they've just named all of you, and I'm also on the news. So I don't entirely know what to do about that. That seems like a bad thing.
Is it? Did they suspect anything?
They suspect that Chase's disappearance is potentially due to meta interference, and that there were known metahumans with him, specifically Mr. Dragon and yourself.
Wait, what do you mean known metahumans?
That's what they said.
Where are you right now?
She's at home. She was in her room and she was drawing.
Oh, good. In the middle of this conversation, Gianna, we need to talk, young lady.
Just a minute. I gotta go. I think maybe my dad was watching the news.
So at that, like, Chase just hangs up the phone, and the next comment panel you see is him like grabbing his suit jacket, because he already had the shirt and the tie on. So he grabs his suit jacket, throws it on, and then runs out the door, because he's heading directly towards Gianna's house right now.
Has he even been there?
Yes. I would assume so.
So after Gianna turns off her phone, she puts it on the table, kind of smooths out her shirt a little bit. And she goes over, opens up her bedroom window. It's probably already open a crack because you can't lock your door when you're a kid. Yeah?
We need to have a discussion.
Yes, Daddy.
Are you going to let me in?
Oh, yeah. So she shuffles back, pulls open the door.
He has that stern yet concerned parrot look on his face.
Are you mad at me, Dad?
Is there something you need to tell me?
Probably a few things.
Okay.
I don't really know where to start.
The beginning is usually a good start.
Well, what do you
sits down on the corner of your bed.
What do you already know?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why the news would be painting my little girl as a dangerous metahuman.
I don't. I may have done some dangerous things.
May have.
Well, to Dad, if I did something kind of weird or if there's something about me that was really strange. And I wasn't like other people. Would you still love me?
Are you referring to the fact that you can conjure up eldritch beings and talk to them?
I wasn't necessarily referring to specifically that. But maybe something like that. Or, maybe, possibly going in strange realms and riding on the backs of giant flying moths and talking to weird, strange crows. We push dragons into giant vats of dreams, and then we get to go to carnivals and we get to save people. And I'm enacting Not From Around Here, so I get I'm playing a move.
What was that?
I'm using a move, Not From Around Here.
Oh, okay.
When you act clueless, goofy, or confused to get out of a sticky mundane situation, roll plus freak. On a hit, you create an opportunity, distraction, or plausible excuse. So, let's see if I can get her out of here.
All right.
Whee! Wow, okay.
Okay. So, what we're going to happen is your distraction had already said he was on the way. So you hear this, you're trying to do this, Gianna, and then you just hear all the pounding on the door.
Ooh.
I'm assuming that's what
Yeah.
Charlie said he was doing.
Yep.
So yeah, upon hearing the pounding on the door, Gianna's like, I'll get it, and she runs out.
We're not done, young lady. And he gets up and starts sauntering towards the door.
So she opens up the door.
So you see Charlie standing there in a very, very slick-looking navy blue pinstripe kind of suit. You know, with like a matching kind of tie and a light blue shirt underneath. Looking a little slightly more tired than he probably should be at this point. Like,
oh, you got here fast.
Yeah, you know, running with the sonic boom behind you is actually not always a good idea.
Well, that's great. We should probably go. I'm not sure exactly how to handle this.
That's why I came here.
Good.
No, to help you handle this.
What? Oh.
I heard your father when you were on the phone, and I figured that you could use some support.
At this point, you hear and you're one of the other individuals from the news video.
Yes, sir. Mr. Robertson, may I presume?
You presume correctly. He looks at both of you.
Dad, this is Charlie. Charlie, this is my dad.
So Charlie steps in and, head out, says, Mr. Alexander, he introduces himself. Mr. Alexander, nice to meet you, sir.
Since my daughter decides that she doesn't want to explain things to me, would you be so kind as to explain why the news is attempting to paint my baby girl as a dangerous metahuman?
I would love to. Can I come inside first?
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh, sure. Okay, so he steps in and gets all proper. Kid gives the sides like, okay, so your daughter is not dangerous. She's just good at what she does.
That's the nicest thing you said to me.
It's the facts. Your daughter has saved lives, sir. I've seen it. I know
So
it.
have I.
Yes.
Gianna kind of looks away. She's looking down at the ground, playing with her glasses, playing with her dress.
And I don't say this to be coy or anything like that, but as a father, I understand. I'm not you, obviously. I'm not a father, but as her father, I would hope that you would understand that sometimes there are things that only certain people can do. And when those people have the ability to do it, sometimes they feel compelled to do it. As I said, your daughter's not dangerous. The media is spinning this out of control.
Roll comfort and support.
Oh, shoot, I was going to try to... Alright, that's fine, I guess.
What were you trying to proc?
I was actually going to go a little longer and try to proc my move for that.
Which
Which
is
move?
what?
Hold on a second. Making amends.
Okay.
We're not there yet. I was going there. But if you want me to roll
Go
down,
ahead, then continue.
Alright, so. So he kind of sighs and is like, I mean, look, I know you don't know me, obviously. We literally just met. There's been a lot of things in my lifetime that I know aren't going to go well, and haven't gone well. But your daughter is a light in all of this quagmire of a strange world that we're in right now. And no one knows that more than I do. So that's me trying to use make amends.
Well, it's still a roll of comfort and support. You just get an additional +2 on it.
Exactly, and some big problems if I
yes,
don't.
Yes, we'll address those afterward.
Right. Okay. Pull my sheet here. See comfort and support.
That is a mundane roll, by the way.
Oh, cool! I'm at -2.
Yep. So the making amends +2 will negate that.
Yeah. So you know. Oh, and I have influence over Gianna, don't I?
Yes. So you're rolling at a +1.
There you go. Oh.
So on a miss, mark a condition.
I was gonna say,
and take a powerful blow.
I was gonna say, would you let me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's see here.
Goodness, that's a dangerous way to comfort.
Yeah, well, that's why you get
Yup.
it's the give and take for taking the +2. So he's gonna feel insecure right now, and then
Dad, what does quagmire mean?
Giggity.
oh, hold on. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so first of all, before we go to how you weather this, Gianna, something about what he said or how he said it obviously isn't sitting quite right. What?
Well, he said I was a well. She didn't know what quagmire meant, but beyond that, he called her like a light in the whatever this is.
Strange world we live in right now.
The strange quagmire of a world we live in was the exact line.
And he called her a light, and she's like, that sounds kind of weird in the sense that she doesn't think of herself that way. But also, it sounded very wooden. Like, in terms of, like, it's such a big pre-prepared type of statement.
Right.
Fair enough. So, Gianna just has this look of that seems fake on her face.
Right. So
how do you weather the blow of her?
So Charlie looks over and sees that, and he's like, "Is that too forced? I may have thought of that on the way over here."
At this point, her father speaks up just a little bit.
Sorry.
And
Sorry,
he
Dad.
He looks back at you. As wooden and pedantic as that was, he makes a decent point.
Allegedly, I'm supposed to get better at that.
You're young. And Gianna,
Yes.
you don't do a very good job of hiding what you can do. I've known for a while.
How long?
Well, let's see. At least as long as the crazy person kidnapped me and put me on a stage show.
Oh, but I was wearing my hood.
A hood that I bought you.
Thank you for that. By the
That
way.
is such a little girl thing, too.
Really? Also, make sure you mark your 2 potential on PC.
I did.
Okay. He goes, That's not why I'm upset.
It's not?
No, not at all. I figured you would tell me when you were ready.
Well, then
When
why are
I-
you upset?
Because when I went in to ask you why the media was portraying you as horrible, bad, and evil, instead of flat out saying you weren't, you tried to skirt around the problem, skirt around the question. That's not the little girl I raised.
I know.
So that has me a little disappointed.
It's just I don't know if I'm not dangerous.
You do me a favor.
Hmm.
Roll to take a powerful emotional blow, please.
Oof. Oh no! I'm a Nova! Whee!
All right. Choose one option from the 7 to 9 list.
Oh, those are
As
exactly
your-
my conditions.
As your father's words weigh heavy on you. So, lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. Give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Well, I don't want to pass out in front of Dad, so I'm gonna give ground.
Okay.
Because Charlie's
And-
already been provoked enough.
Yes, and I will address that give ground in just a minute. But first, we're going to turn the comic page. Flo,
Oh, I do exist in this comic.
you do. You do. So, first things first. Before we get going anywhere, you have a start of session move to roll.
But session started like 30 minutes ago.
Yes, well, it's the first scene we've seen you in, so. So go ahead and roll plus Savior.
You gotta find the right window.
Or is it the left window? Okay. On a 7 to 9, you found a lead. Choose a figure above or one aspect of the future world, and I will tell you what lead you have to learn more about that path.
Well, given everything so far, I think the right lead is Gianna.
Yep, you would be correct. So, we'll address that in a second. Has Flo been staying in the spare bedroom in the nondescript house in the nondescript cul-de-sac with the nondescript goose?
Unfortunately,
Okay. So, Flo probably isn't watching the extremely low def TV, but the goose, with Drake having gone missing and the goose being like, he's in there, there's nothing I can do, the goose has taken into being like lazy Affleck duck and has been sitting on the recliner, has the remote control and has been channel surfing, and has stopped on the news because he saw the picture of Drake, and you get to overhear all of the news story stuff that we went over at the beginning. And hearing that news story reminds you of, when you were researching this time to come back here, of a story that starts out at basically where the media and the town end up turning on not just Gianna, but on teen superheroes and vigilantes as a whole. But Gianna sort of becomes the crux of their anger and sort of like the poster child for this movement of anti-meta, vigilante establishment. And what you can remember from that is you're not entirely sure what effect it has on Gianna, but you know it's not good.
well, that puts two possible situations for Gianna. Could be monster or could be murder.
Could be, but you didn't roll for memories right now, so that's just your beginning of move.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. So you see that. What do you do?
For right now, because I really haven't had the chance to sit down and have a talk with Gianna, I don't push to try to remember more. I just, make the note in the back of my mind.
So you've seen this story. You know that at least two of the people who you were definitely seen with at the movies last week were implicated in this video. So what are your plans to go about dealing with this?
Well, Flo's not really going to go out in any public sort of setting because the last thing he wants to do is, especially with like everything going on out in public, he doesn't want to be caught on potentially historic video footage.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So he's just in. I'm going to hunker down and watch reruns of the Golden Girls with the Goose.
No, as soon as the Goose turns on Golden Girls, Flo is going to leave the house.
Yeah, you just hear, "Thank you for being a friend."
No, it would be, "Thank you for being a..."
Dirt shot. We love you, Betty White. Where is Flo going?
For a walk.
Okay. Any particular destination in mind, or just for a walk?
Just for a walk. Just to sort of get away from the pecking and nagging.
You're tired of being honked at? So you have the advantage of pretty much anonymity here in the city. I mean, just you're kind of new here. No one really knows who you are, so you can pretty much get away with walking whatever you need to do. So as you're walking, you're in this little nondescript section of the outskirts of town. You make your way somewhat into the town proper, per se, and what you encounter is a couple of, I mean, to you, probably fascinating things, but in your mind, these are historical, archival things that should never be happening again. But you see a couple of maybe 10, 11-year-old kids running around or standing on corners waving newspapers in the air. Basically, you hear them yelling, footage of Chase Cassidy found. Last people know where he was. Come read and see what's going on. Are the metahumans involved? Are we safe? And you can definitely tell that there's definitely a slant to what they're yelling.
I go over and grab a paper from him.
He holds his hand out.
Gives him a high five.
No. You gotta pay for the paper.
Shouldn't I pay based off of whether it's good or not?
No. No, that's not how this works. Why would you think it worked like that yet?
Because why should I pay you to feed me crap?
You'd pay for a bad meal at a restaurant even if it was bad, right?
No, actually, I don't.
I can't just give you the paper for free.
Okay, well, can I give you a tip?
Only if it's money.
Get in a different business. Print paper is going to suck in a few years. There, I just gave you a lot of money.
God, I knew he was going there too.
I did too. It's still funny. Oh.
Librarian sad.
Roll to provoke.
I can't even intimidate an 11-year-old.
No. The kid looks. Oh, I see. I see what this is. You're trying to sneak into my territory, aren't you? And then he just starts yelling, "Thief! Thief! Thief!" at the top of his lungs and pointing at you frantically.
For a brief moment, the thought of dropping him into a portal and do somewhere completely foreign to him crosses Flo's mind. And then he pulls out a 5, hands it to the kid, and says, "Trust me, this won't go anywhere," and walks away.
False alarm!
Turns around, yell like that again, I'll punch you.
So before we turn the page, we get a shot. A similar shot to the end of last session where you have the big room with the shadowy figure looking at a monitor. And basically we get the picture of Flo walking away after saying that. And then the next screen is that same picture, but it's on the monitor that this figure is watching. So, Flo, you now have your paper. What are you doing with it?
I'm looking at the front page, considering that's what the kid was screaming about.
So, the article shows the big color front picture is the still frame picture of Gianna and Charlie and Hunter and Drake and Chase Cassidy in this arcade. You recognize Chase as the guy who transformed into the monstrosity and that you guys killed.
Well, that's interesting.
The article itself basically goes on to say it's been 2 weeks since Chase Cassidy has last been seen. This is the picture from the last known video of the last known people he was with. BCPD is looking for information to try and get in contact with them. We believe we've identified most of them. If you know where they are, how to get a hold of them, please contact blah, 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 blah.
He flips through the paper. Is there any other pertinent information to Cassidy?
Not really. There's an op-ed piece about how Chase Cassidy was someone's influence to get into media and reporting and journalism, and how that as journalists they're just doing a job. So if someone is holding Cassidy because of the job he was doing, this whole long piece about how that's not right, and a cry for help, basically.
At this point, Flo turns right back around.
Heading back to the street corner.
Yep.
There's no kid there when you get back.
Do I see the kid anywhere?
Nope. At least not on a cursory look.
Are there any other kids around yelling about a paper?
it looks like they've all dispersed.
Okay, I go back to the house where the goose is.
Okay. The last page is going to be you opening the door to the nondescript house with the goose. We're going to turn the page to our most pretentious character. That, of course, being Vincent Evan Donovan IV. It's been a week since you met new friends and watched a very interesting movie / saved the thing, and you were accosted by that vlogger. What are you doing currently?
Currently, he is at his computer trying to figure out where his robotic cat had gone to. Over the last week, he's gone up the alley a few times, still just can't find it.
Okay, fair enough. So you're clickety clackety click click clacking away. That was me trying to figure out what I wanted to say and just kept saying click and clack over again. So you're looking, and no matter how hard you've tried to activate the tracers, the trackers, or whatever, for some reason you can't find the cat. But all of a sudden you just hear a meow.
So he's gonna go out and open his door and look around, which is would be kind of confusing to him, considering that it was a robotic cat, and you didn't really think it would be meowing at him per se.
Well, you open the door and there's your robotic cat sitting on the porch steps.
So he's gonna take it inside and go down to his workshop and plug it into his computer in safety mode to see exactly what public is tracing history to see if he can figure out where it's gone over the last couple of weeks.
Well, basically, you load up the GPS for the cat, and basically, your programming was really, really good because it literally acted like a cat. You can trace its GPS. It went through an alley. It stopped for a little while out the back door of a restaurant because it smelled food. There are definitely some fragments, some pieces of chewed but not dissolved food in the robot system because it thought it was a cat. But yeah, you can basically follow its alley trail path, and it just sort of wandered around the city being a cat.
Then the next thing he's going to look into is the internal explosion mechanism, see exactly why it didn't explode as it should have.
So you look into that, and you're going through, and it's actually really simple as to why it didn't explode. Your blue wire was frayed.
All right, so he's going to deactivate it for now and put it aside and go back to watching the news that he had been following.
So you again, the news, you go back upstairs to watch it, and it's the same story that Charlie saw at the beginning with the picture of them and Chase Cassidy. And you being from the town would definitely recognize who Chase Cassidy is. That's everyone would know who he is. You definitely recognize at least two of the people who you went to the movies with. You recognize your good buddy Charlie and Gianna. Oh, and you also recognize Hunter, the obnoxious, hyperactive one. But yeah, they have been identified as persons of interest in the disappearance of Chase Cassidy.
So I'm going to start doing background checks on Chase Cassidy to see if I can come up with anything myself of what could possibly clear them.
Okay, well, in that case, you get to roll a custom move. Because I have one for this. So, when you dig into an existing character's past through documents and records, roll plus superior.
So just roll it. I have a 3 right now. So do I increase it to 4? Or?
Nope, just click the button that's right next to superior and roll it. Okay. So, on a hit, you find revealing information. Choose and ask one of the following. And here it is in case you can see it. So, the questions that you can ask to obtain information or anything that would fit into this vein. What crime did they commit? What embarrassing secret did they hide? How did they blunder early in their career? Or anything that's in this sort of vein that you might be able that would give sort of that kind of information.
Given that he's missing, I'm going to look into his secrets.
Okay. So, computers and technology, but computers is really is your thing. So, when Alex rolled this and was starting to look into Chase, he's good at computers. So he was able to find some stuff. Computers are kind of where your bread and butter is at. So you're able to go and find a little more information than Alex would have been able to find. Not that Alex is around currently to give that information, but so.
Can I hack into the news broadcast and overplay of what actually happened to Charlie Clay, my friends?
After we do this, we can certainly attempt to make that happen. That's a different role entirely.
Okay, sorry.
So, no, that's fine. That's something you have the capability of attempting to do that. But, so, you're looking through embarrassing secrets. So you're digging up, trying to find some stuff. And the only reason you're able to find this bit of information is because the news article did the juxtaposition of your buddy Charlie and Chase, and was able to do the superimpose, like, young picture, old picture thing. So you find a picture that pretty well measures up to Charlie that is, well, a very goofy-looking 90s era superhero costume with a big stylized RV in the center of it. And it didn't last very long because of some civilians getting hurt. But this embarrassing secret is this outfit that you see a very young Chase Cassidy wearing as the hero Reverb. And basically, when I say gaudy 90s style costume, basically, you know the Frozone costume from The Incredibles? Take that, but put it in 90s stylings. And that is the Reverb costume.
So he's going to sit and ponder to see how he can use this information to his advantage to try to get some heat off his friends and to clear their name.
Fair enough. I mean, I could give you that answer, but I'm the GM, and I want you to come up with your own. But you did mention wanting to attempt to hack the broadcast. Now, here's what I will say. You certainly could attempt to do that. It would be an Unleash Your Powers roll. However, I'm going to say, as the GM, bad things will happen if you fail that.
Do it.
Do it.
Knowing your roles, do it.
So would that be a freak roll?
That would be a freak roll. Ooh, okay.
This is why we play masks.
This is why we play masks. So go ahead and mark potential for the miss. So you're click-clacking away, and you're getting ready to do, well, as far as you understand, you hack into this broadcast. So you have free reign of how you're going to clear your friends. So please go ahead and let everyone in Bay City who now can see you how you're clearing your friends. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't see me. They'd just see a picture of Chase and kind of like a retconned time lapse of what happened over the last week of where he might be.
Okay. So basically, you were able to find and hack into some things. You see them. You follow them from the arcade through the traffic cams up to the news station, where the last place you see is him walking out of his office, and there's nothing else really. Like, there's no other signs. It's like he just disappeared.
Basically, I just showing that they were in a different place other than where
right. So
should have been.
So you go and you hack into this. You show this footage, and then we cut back. We're sorry. We don't know exactly what we just saw here, but from what appears to be a time lapse video of following Chase Cassidy and his young associates from the arcade where he met them back to his news station, and we cannot confirm the authenticity of what we just saw. But if it is true, then there are other questions that need to be asked here. So we're going to have our best people work on that and try and get that back to you as soon as possible. But in the meantime, what we have here is we're going to do our best to still try and at least get a hold of one of these kids to maybe hear their side of the story. We'll be right back. So you get the "we'll be right back." You turn the page, and we're back in Gianna's kitchen. And remember that mist you rolled a while ago? The opportunity on the powerful blow?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the opposition getting an opportunity is the phone ring.
Who's the opposition?
Like the
Father
house?
goes over, picks.
Yeah.
Your
like
father goes over, picks up the phone. Yes. Oh. I mean, I can certainly ask her. As her father, I'm not necessarily on board with it, but if it's the best way to clear her and her friends' names, I don't see why it would hurt. Hold on.
She leans forward.
This is Charlie.
Puts the phone down. Gianna, darling. On the phone is Mr. Preston Powell. For anyone who would know, Preston Powell is the president of Channel 3 News. Like, the head man on Channel 3.
Would he have been anybody in 1994?
He would have been a field reporter in 94.
Okay. So Charlie's like, the field reporter?
And he's offering you a chance to interview to clear you and your friend's name.
What do I do?
Go and answer his questions. You don't have to. It's entirely up to you.
What if I answer them wrong?
You answer them truthfully. There is no right and wrong when it comes to the truth.
Charlie looks over and is like, I could do it if you don't want to go.
No.
I'm going with you regardless.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, no. She said she would do it. Oh, so, okay. I will bring her down immediately.
Immediately?
Yes. So, yeah, it's going to be airing live, so let's go. So, I need you to do me a favor, Shammy.
Okay.
The first thing you need to do is you need to ask all of your teammates the following question. Do they believe you can do this?
Well, team, do you believe Gianna can interview?
Yes.
And clear our names?
No.
You need to answer honestly. In character.
That's a in character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in character, Charlie would be like, oh yeah, no, she can do that. I'm going with her just to make sure.
Yes. Does Charlie think she can do it?
If he's there, yes.
That doesn't answer the question.
It doesn't though. It doesn't though. Yes, he does.
Okay. We will move to Flo.
Well, I mean, Flo's not there to tell her that, but Flo, being Flo, will say, I'm honestly afraid that you doing this will make monsters appear.
Okay, that's a no. Vincent.
So Vincent doesn't really know Jenna quite as well as the other group yet, because he's only had a very brief interaction.
Yep.
But he does, however, know how brutal the media can be, and that the fact that she's only a 13-year-old girl, therefore he would say no.
Okay, beautiful.
Makes sense.
I have those for. That's the first part of the custom move, by the way.
Yay!
So you all make it down to the big Channel 3 building. And it's a building you know because, well, this also happens to be the building where Chase Cassidy works.
Oh, so we're familiar. Neat.
Yeah.
Yes. But you're directed in, and you're brought into, you're brought in, and you get to meet with Preston Powell, who I showed you guys the picture earlier last week, but this is Preston Powell.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yes. So,
I'm gonna have a bad time.
you probably are. So he brings you in to you, Miss Robinson. Pleasure to meet you. Reach out to shake your hand.
She's gonna like,
Charlie's right next door. Or right behind her.
and she's gonna look at him and shake his hand back. Hello, Mr. Powell.
I do wish we were meeting under better circumstances, but sometimes the best way to get to the bottom of things is to just directly ask the source and go after the truth. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the truth.
Not at all. And there's also nothing to be nervous about. If you've done nothing wrong, why do you have to be nervous?
I suppose that makes sense.
And he looks at you, and who exactly are you?
Friend first.
Well, friend of hers, you can stay back here.
Kind of involved in this
stay
too.
Back here.
You put me on your channel earlier.
Excuse me a second, Miss Robinson.
Okay.
Friend of hers, would you walk with me for a minute?
His name is Charlie.
Because I was like, I was going to tell her that later.
Do you walk with Mr. Powell?
He does.
Okay, so he walks you down a hallway out of earshot and just looks at you and goes, unlike the rest of these media hacks, I know exactly who you are, because I was there reporting when you first put on your damn spandex.
Put on my... I'm sorry, what'd you say? Teach, I missed that.
Damn spandex. So I don't necessarily understand how you got here. But you being on camera and people realizing that you're an exact duplicate of Chase when he was younger, because you are Chase when he was younger, is the worst possible optic, no matter which side of this fence you guys fall on.
So, upgraded from field reporter, I see, huh? No, Mr. Preston, I understand what you're saying. I actually wasn't aware that you were that perceptive. Very nice. But he looks at it and was like, that's fine. But if you try to embarrass her or do anything to harm her at all, you will answer to me. And I didn't put on that spandex yet, because it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea. But, anyway, I still have abilities.
Ones you don't fully grasp how to use.
So think about that one for a moment. Would you really want an emotional, angry 16-year-old who doesn't know how to use his powers in going crazy in your studio?
Well, that's just the thing. It's my studio. You assume I don't have ways of canceling noise. This isn't media out.
Yeah, fair point. Look, just be straight and don't try anything funny. She's 13.
I understand that. I'm trying to get to the bottom of something. a colleague of mine is missing. And as far as I understand, he was last seen with you all. So I'm hoping and praying that he's just missing and not dead somewhere.
Charlie's going to pierce the mask.
Okay.
Which is a really stupid idea because I'm at -2 mundane, but what the hell?
This is a really stupid idea.
Oh! Hold on.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me think here. How could I possibly spend team selfishly right now? So okay, I go. So I'm going. Charlie's going to spend team selfishly because that's a thing. He's going to basically. He's basically going to say to this guy, "Look, yeah, he's continuing on that path of like, look, she's 13, she's going to get stressed out. She doesn't. Basically, he's basically like knocking down her, if that makes any sense."
Yeah, and the reason this is selfish to your teammates because, as you said, or as he said, you don't fully have control of your powers. Your voice projects.
Right.
And Gianna hears this.
Yeah. Like, look. But, he's just saying, look, she's going to get stressed out. She's going to be, possibly scared even. I just want to make sure you're not going to try to do something to harm her.
What question are you asking with Pierce the Mask?
Well, first of all, I'm raising my mundane and
And you're lowering your what? You cut out.
Sorry, because I let go of my butt.
Yeah.
I'm lowering danger.
Danger, I guess, makes sense. Although I can see that.
And I'm going to ask the question, what are you really planning?
What is he really planning? So, as you look and you give him a dressing down, he responds to you. He goes, I can promise you, I am not going to do anything more than the job of a reporter is to do. I am attempting to get to the bottom of this mess. And what he's really planning, as far as you can tell by his words, is there's something about what your team has been doing or is attempting to potentially do that's got him a little on edge. So what he's planning is to not necessarily come across as this horrible person, but to make the interview uncomfortable enough that the court of public opinion shifts to make it so that it's damn near impossible for your team to do the hero thing ever again.
So Charlie's going to tilt his head up to his side and look at him. And so you said before that, not knowing how to control his powers his voice was carrying. He's going to kind of now do that on purpose. So Gianna can hear this and says, I don't know what your game is, but I don't like something about you. It looks like I think you're just going to get up there and make her feel uncomfortable. And kind of like telegraphing this to Gianna to be aware of that.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Indeed.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you either mark a condition or it is temporary or unstable.
Shoot, I'm already insecure. I'm like, that would have been the perfect thing to... Afraid. I'm afraid.
Okay. So, Gianna, you hear this sort of... After you hear him basically, downing you and degrading you, you then hear him say, but there's something I don't like about you.
And also, just for information, all this time has just been going on with him talking. Gianna appears to be kind of talking to herself, but she's actually talking to Sassy because she's trying to psych herself up. So she gets the mix of all that.
But you definitely heard Charlie say that I think you just want to make her uncomfortable. So she now knows that that's the plan.
Right.
Already
So,
there.
That happened, so he comes back. I do apologize for that. Shall we go and sit down with the interview?
She kind of like looks at him, then like looks up. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. We go sit down. There's nothing to be nervous about. So they hear the 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it's probably been a while since you've seen me. For those who do not remember, I'm Preston Powell. And with me right now is one of the 4 young individuals who was featured in the video that we showed earlier today on the last known video of the whereabouts of Chase Cassidy, one of our beloved reporters. Now, I'm here with young Gianna Robinson, who has agreed to talk with me about what happened that day and what she can potentially shed on the disappearance of Mr. Cassidy. First of all, Gianna, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Oh, gosh.
So, first question. Was there a reason that your team ended up meeting with Mr. Cassidy at the arcade? And before we get into the whole back and forth of the full interview, which could take a while, I'm just going to instead say roll superior with a -1 in your bonus box. +1 from Charlie saying you could do it, and -2 from Flo and Vincent saying you could not.
Let's see, superior. Oh, this is gonna be a bad day.
Oh dear. Okay, so here is the following move agreeing to an interview. When you agree to do an interview with Preston Powell, ask your teammates how they think you will do and roll plus superior. Take an additional +1 for each teammate who believes you can do it, and -1 for each teammate who says you won't cut it. On a 6-, you blew it. The entire team shifts danger down and mundane up as Preston paints the interviewee and the rest of the team as nothing more than children at playing at heroes. However, anyone who expressed doubt in the interviewee's ability can choose to either ignore the label shift or clear a condition as they gloat and savor the sweet, sweet schadenfreude.
Do I do that shift as well, by the way?
Yep, you're
Okay.
part of the team.
So I just leveled out, evened out my entire stat sheet in one go.
So, Flo and Vincent, are you ignoring the label shift or clearing condition?
I'm totally clearing my angry condition because I am humored now.
Okay, so danger down, mundane up, and clear angry. All right, sounds good. And Vincent.
I will clear my angry status as well.
All right, so danger down, mundane up, and clear angry. So you've at least made your teammates chuckle a little, Gianna.
Yay!
But Preston is a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you blew the interview in the court of public opinion, he does his best to make you feel at least calm and at ease. But you can definitely tell that what the warning that Charlie gave you is probably true.
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't do anything overt. So as you're getting up to leave, he just gives you, I would like to thank you for your time, Ms. Robbins. Oh, one final question before we go. Where's your friend Drake at? We're going to turn the page. Flo!
Sup?
I'm assuming in your walking around, you caught this interview on one of the TVs or big screens or something. Or Or no, you were back at the house, so yeah, you definitely caught it there.
Flo lets out a few select words.
Expressed as percentage signs, carats, ampersands, and asterisks.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an open parentheses too.
Dastardly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just escalated this greatly. So he actually, first of all, he looks at the TV. Then he looks at the goose. And notices that the goose really has not shifted position at all. Shakes his head and walks away. Now, on the TV, did he recognize where this interview was taking place? Like, does he know the area?
I mean, it was a news studio, so, and considering you can see the big things, there's 3, you're pretty sure it's the Channel 3 news station, so yes.
He sort of drops into uninhabited part of the news station.
Okay, so you're in the janitor's closet.
Sort of just sits there for a few minutes, saying to himself, like, why am I even bothering with this?
And the little voice in your head goes, you have to save the future. Or at least delete yourself from the past.
Yeah, that obviously went well.
Do you respond to that like
No,
vocally?
he doesn't actually say that.
Okay. So, Gianna's finishing up an interview. Charlie's in a hallway. Flo's in the closet. So we're going to turn the page one more time. Back to Vincent. So you're watching this absolute disaster of an interview, at least from the perspective of Charlie and Gianna and Drake. And Hunter's kind of okay because he was just identified as some random kid with no powers and not nearly enough training. So, what do you do when the interview is over?
So he doesn't really know how to contact them and never really exchange information yet. So he's still he's concerned about him, of course, but doesn't really know exactly how to go from here.
So he does know it's at Channel 3's news station.
Yep. So he's going to go over to the corner room where he has a bird cage of sorts with a bunch of mechanical birds in it. He's going to send a small flock over to the news station in his place because he doesn't want to get caught in the public eye himself.
A small flock of birds. Okay. Yeah, so you release and unleash the birds. And they start fluttering over to the news station. So, remember a little bit ago you failed that freak roll?
Yep.
Which means I got to make a hard move. Well, I'm making that hard move now. And you release these mechanical birds. The problem is these are mechanical birds, and to the untrained eye and ear, a flock of mechanical birds sounds the same as a swarm of bees, wasps, or other mechanical stinging creatures. So...
Pity, I thought you were going to go because they're mechanical birds and its cat acts like a real cat. The mechanical cat destroys the mechanical birds.
I was hoping the same thing.
I like that better. We're going to do it that. You release the flock of mechanical birds. And you're not sure how Mechanical Cat turns back on. And just... every one of them. And you're not sure how it happens, but after the last one just goes... and coughs up feathers. Actual feathers.
So he's going to get extremely confused and look down at the cat again. And then he's just going to start... first he's going to plug in and dump its information. And he's going to disassemble it. And then he's going to head over to the news station himself.
It's licking itself and looking at you.
Well, I mean, it's disassembled now.
You hear the... Poor kitty.
The purr's still going off.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for it.
I know.
I regret nothing.
I'm glad someone said that because that was so much better. So, you make your way down to the news station, and you get to the outside, and there appears to be a small mob at the front of the news station. And you can hear intermittent chanting and screaming saying, we don't want those monsters here, justice for Chase. They're all, like, whatever the heck happened is there's a throng of people here who basically think Gianna's the devil. Or the devil, I guess it were.
Funniest thing is she can kind of summon something that would make them believe that even more.
Yeah, good old Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go up to the nearest person and ask what exactly is going on, like pretending like he doesn't know.
Did you not just see the interview? I mean, she basically admitted she's a freak, and she probably, her and her freak friends probably, got Chase Cassidy holed up in a basement somewhere, upside down, dripping blood. For some crazy satanic ritual. Somewhere the House of Brimstone smiles.
If only they knew.
Yep.
It's not satanic, it's to a crow, actually.
So you're sacrificing Gianna to Brandon Lee, gotcha.
Right, yeah.
So, do you have any proof, like not just what you've heard in the news, but do you have any proof that you've thought of for yourself as to why she'd be in this situation?
Did you not hear her? She basically admitted it.
She's 13. Are you that foolish that you think a 13-year-old can't be pressured by the grown adult on the media? Do you have any semblance of thought of your own?
You're just like her, aren't you? You're another one of those freaks, aren't you?
No, I just don't believe the media.
We got a freak sympathizer here! And starts pointing at you. What do you do?
You're just going to stand nonchalant, like nothing's really happening because he's still just kind of laughing at the guy.
At this point, since you're being nonchalant, a bunch of them now surrounded you, like they've encircled you. Freak sympathizer! They're just, I mean, they're being loud, they're being boisterous, they're being obnoxious. No one's being violent yet.
So you guys really are media sheep, huh? You believe everything the media tells you?
They have no reason to lie.
It's the media. Media is 95% lies.
And I'm supposed to believe just some random kid that walks up? How do I know you're not one of them? You're not someone trying to, you're a freak sympathizer trying to not, prove that. What are you trying to even prove here?
I'm not trying to prove anything. I just asked you what was going on. The other one who started going off the conspiracy theories.
No conspiracy theories. You heard the same thing I did.
Actually, I didn't hear the interview at all. I specifically told you that. Remember?
Not that hard to go look it up. She's a freak. She admitted to being a freak. She admitted to being able to do all that's like, People like her they need to be regulated.
Oh, and who decides that? Who decides someone's self-worth? You?
I know I'd sleep a lot safer at night knowing that people like that weren't able to run around freely doing whatever the hell they damn well pleased.
I don't see how anyone around him can sleep at night with all that noise he makes.
Did Flo just appear and say that?
Flo just said that directly to Dork's character.
Oh. What do you do?
And that he's gonna look like really confused and start looking up like, what? So anyway, sheep. I don't really want problems with you. I was just asking what's going on because I was walking by. You can go do your little rally and do what you want to do. Pays no business to me. You want to crucify a 13-year-old girl for the media spitting her to you? Well, that's on you. But I want to think for yourself for a change.
Touché. So yeah, as you look around from your little discussion, you see that the crowd has gotten bigger, and there are like the big like marching signs at this point.
This guy's fast.
There's a reason for the fastness.
Yeah, I kind of figured actually.
Yeah. You see signs such as regulate freaks, no more freaks, we miss you, Chase. One says, hi, Mom.
I'm on TV!
No, I'm just at the top of the tower on Independence Day with all the signs.
Yep. So another one on the front of it, it says all the like some big regulate freaks on the back. It says, I really don't want to be doing this, but I lost a bet and now I'm forced to be here. I'd rather be home in my underwear playing Fortnite.
One of the signs is like, give us Mother 3!
Yes, exactly. No, another one says legalize Game Genie.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the one Flo just in civilian clothes walking around, legalize Game Genie.
No, Flo would be walking around with a sign that says, your games don't age well.
Yes, he's totally doing that. So,
man.
we get this panel, and Flo's just walking around with a sign saying your games don't age well. And then we get a couple panels later, he's being followed around by a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds all holding signs and say things like NES sucks, Mario sucks, Zelda sucks, Fortnite forever. So, Flo, you have an army of video game minions.
Flo starts picking up the pace because there's so many of them following him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sort of makes a sidestep really quickly and stops and sticks out his leg.
Roll, just roll me a d20, please.
I got nothing. Roll a d20 for crying out loud.
No, there's a reason I'm having you roll a
I
d20.
know. I figure, but still, it's hilarious.
So, unfortunately, you only managed to trip 4 of the kids.
Oh, sorry.
The 5th one just sort of, that wasn't funny. Then you get the kid behind him. They fell down, it was funny.
Why would you follow a complete stranger?
NES sucks. NES.
Why did you even come out with that sign?
Also, you spelled it wrong. This is NSE.
Good one job, Gary.
Damn it, Gary.
Hey, what did I do?
I forgot. I would like to point out, everybody, that if this was an actual, properly edited broadcast, you wouldn't have just dealt with the 5 minutes of laughing, but we're doing it live. We're gonna go back to the inside of the news station where the interview concludes. And as you're starting to walk out, you can hear the mixed chanting of protesters outside between a combination of regulate freaks, justice for Chase, and then some higher pitched voices in the background. NES sucks! NES sucks!
Does Preston come out, like, follow them out of the interview, or is it just Gianna and her father?
It's just those two. He thanks him. He has to go. He goes back up to his office.
I'm guessing Charlie's with us, right?
When you guys come out, I'm assuming.
It's up to you, Charlie.
Well, he's been pacing around, like... Obviously, he's heard the... I'm assuming they basically played the interview throughout the entire building.
Oh, yeah, he had a monitor to watch it from.
Yeah, so he's been just kind of pacing around the area, so to speak, but... Including past said janitor's closet that Flo's in, not that he knows that.
No, Flo was it.
Wasn't, right, yeah. Now he's outside, right, yeah. So, yeah, he's... At this point, like, when they come out of the... So, what floor are they on, anyway? Is it the ground floor, or...?
They would have been up on, like, floor 2 or 3.
Yeah, okay, so, like... when they come out and, like, walk down the hallway, they'd see Charlie standing at a window, like, looking out over this crowd, and just kind of standing there, just like...
Charlie?
Oh, it's Robinson. Mr. Robinson, it's good to see you.
I don't feel like I did too good, Charlie.
Don't worry about it, Miss Robinson. It was a setup. He kind of walks over and, like, pats her on the shoulder.
What happens now?
Well, I don't know what happens to us now, but he kind of guides her over to the window, and it's like, but that doesn't look good down there.
Her eyes, like, widen.
Yeah, here's the thing. They got here way too fast. Like, the interview just ended. And there's
Well, it was a really long interview, though.
There's a crowd here. And they have signs. Well written. Some of them are well written. Look, that one even over there, he's got this very long statement about how he doesn't even want to be here. I don't know why the NES sucks people are over there, though. That's kind of weird.
I don't get it either. What's a nest? Oh, wait. Right! That old thing!
He just stares at you for a moment, just like... Yes, that old thing.
By the way, Flo's sign has now changed from your games don't age well to I'm too young to have adopted kids.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I don't
get...
I think because he's the adult of the group, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Because he has a bunch of kids following him around.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. What do we do? That looks kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple ways of dispersing a crowd, none of which I feel like are a good idea at this moment. He kind of looks over at, like, Gianna's dad for a moment, just kind of like, plus we have an adult here.
He looks out the window. Our best bet would be to not go through the front.
That makes sense.
They're gonna
Do we
be-
want to leave from the roof, Dad?
I don't think it's wise if we get seen flying away.
Oh, right.
Looking out into the crowd, do they even see Flo?
I figure you're in the back, so he sees the sign, but I don't think he realizes it's you. How obvious would it be?
I mean, if I'm surrounded by all, like, 11-year-olds, I'd be
Right.
much taller than them.
That's a good point.
He's-
Okay.
Kind of huge.
Yeah, so Charlie looks out the window again, and he's kind of staring at these kids with the signs because he doesn't get it, and he looks like, wait, Gianna,
Yeah.
come here.
Oh, okay. She adjusts her glasses.
Is that who I think it is?
Oh, it's Flo!
What?
Also looking around, you also see Vincent surrounded by some of the angry mobsters too.
Oh, and Vincent's here too! She actually looks excitedly to see if she can see Drake.
No,
Or Alex.
Yeah.
no, Alex.
Oh.
Charlie doesn't look nearly as excited to see. To see if they're.
Everybody's here!
Yeah. Okay, this got a little more interesting.
Well, if they're out there, though, that means that we'll be okay if we... Like, we have somebody out there looking out for us.
Oh, yes. We've got two people in the crowd of an angry mob that apparently wants to regulate and probably, like, hang us right now. Or at least you.
Should we leave out the back?
Well, I mean, the problem is, I don't know how we communicate that to them.
Well, I don't have either of their cell phone numbers.
Even if I did, I may not actually know how to call them. I have you on what they call speed dial, and I just remember pushing a couple of buttons, and that works.
Well,
The nice person at the front desk of the hotel set it up for me.
maybe if we go out the back, we can meet up with them later. Because they don't look like they're in any danger right now.
Oh, well, I could try to commune with them using my sonic abilities, but I'd have to be outside for that. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that through this window without breaking it, although, quite frankly, I wouldn't mind breaking the window right now.
No! We can do it when we leave. If we go out the back and we're outside, then maybe you can say something to them.
Okay, I thought you meant when we left I could break the window.
No, there are other people who work here.
Kinda don't care right now. That's fine. Alright, let's at least go out the back and see where we go from there.
I just hope there's not a mob waiting back there, too.
Might be. Mr. Robertson, where was your car at exactly?
In the parking garage.
In the garage, okay. Is there...
Across the street.
Of course.
Well,
Well, they don't know. I don't think they know you. Could you go out and maybe get the car and the back?
I might have an idea.
Oh?
I could just take us there.
Oh?
She looks at her dad. Would you be okay with that?
Okay with what?
With me kind of showing you more of the things I can do.
Under normal circumstances, I would say yes, but again, I do not believe the right thing to do here is to show off more of what you can do in front of a crowd who thinks that you need to be put in prison just because you have abilities.
I'm not going to show it off at all. I was going to hide it.
Charlie kind of nods like, oh, I get what you're saying. I didn't know you could do that.
What are you playing?
I can... If I imagine a place hard enough, sometimes I can just appear there. Sometimes with people that are close to me. I could just make us appear in the garage, next to our car.
You can do that.
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit better at it. Sometimes it goes a little bit wrong, but usually it works just fine.
If you think you can get us there, I believe you can.
Really?
So, go ahead and roll your burn.
Yep.
He's gonna sit there with, so is this like Star Trek or something? Like how you, like, beam from one place to another?
Okay, no bonuses because of burn. Oh wait, yes, lots of stuff. Cool.
All right, market condition and hold 3.
Whee! Well, definitely not hopeless. She's super insecure.
Right.
Oh yeah, she's
Okay.
everything but hopeless.
Right.
Yes.
So this has got to be the first time her father's actually seen her power up, though, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not, but
it's the first time it's been directly addressed on screen, but he saw it in episode 2.
Right.
so yeah, Gianna gets that little like telltale psychic glow about her. She kind of takes her dad and Charlie by the hand and runs them off like near towards where the bathroom is. And she makes sure nobody else is looking. And then she does her blink move. So
Which is
around
move.
them, yes, just move somewhere.
Spend the burn.
Burnt has been spent.
So normally when you utilize move, you utilize Mr. Moth.
I do.
This is a special case scenario. So this is the first time we've seen this version of move on panel. So describe how it looks.
Well, actually, because of the way this looks, she's looking up at her dad who's next to her. And she actually has this weird surge of confidence that you don't normally get to see with Gianna, as she gets to kind of show off what she can do. And as she's kind of like looking at Dad and like feeling all confident, the world around them actually seems to like glow just a little bit brighter, as like sort of a light encompasses them. And then when it fades away, they're in the garage next to their cars, like standing next to the trunk or something. As the light just kind of like flickers away around like fairy light.
That was weird.
Your father, surprisingly, looks completely unfazed by that. Like he's done it before.
Took that pretty well, sir.
Even I'm a little bit surprised by it. Are you okay, Dad?
Perfectly fine.
Dad, I've been meaning to ask something. How can I do this stuff? Is it something you and Mom were able to do too?
Me, though. Your mother. We need to have a conversation about her because he looks down at the mob. He looks back up at you. I think she might be part of the reason that's happening. And with that, we're going to close the book on the comic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a perfect place to end, as far as I'm concerned.
It is a good line.
So, thank you all very much for watching, if you were watching. Thank you to, of course, the wonderful crew here who managed to take a protest and make it absolutely batshit crazy. So we have mechanical burbs, mechanical cats eating mechanical burbs, spitting up real feathers.
That was
A Flo turning into the Pied Piper. But anyway, so thank you all very much for watching and playing. On behalf of the entire crew here at Bay City Comics, that would be Chameleon Knights, Crimson Addicts, Dark Falls, Liberty Lawyer. I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep handling.